Hello, everyone out there. You might be making your own dragster. We're making one here for demo at the store. So basically, we started off with two-wheel drive slash VXL, and we are going with the traxxas low CG kit. Now we have the better bell crank on there, which is if you have the brushed version, you're gonna have to switch that up to like the bell crank, the plastic one that they sell for the 4x4s, which does work for these. You can also go with aluminum, but just for money's sakes, the plastic one is perfectly fine. The VXL version usually should have that on there instead of using the servo saver, which is not recommended. You're using the actual the bell crank that's in there, as you can see in there. Now we're sticking, again, for traxxas sake, for our traxxas build, we're sticking with the 2075, the waterproof, high torque steering servo. Servo, all that needs to do is keep the car going straight. So, that's fairly simple to do. We don't need anything too crazy for that. When you are changing the front, you don't have to do a whole lot. The bulkhead's still the same, so you're not needing to change that. The steering and the turnbuckles for the front will get changed to the Bandits, so we'll be doing that. Switching to the rear, shock tower stays the same as well. We will be changing the body posts over to the Stampede ones, which give us a different angle on the body posts that allow us to put any style of body on here that we might want. The Pro Lines, the J Concepts, probably about 10 different body styles that we can choose from. I haven't decided what I'm going to go with. I'm thinking the Mustang 90s version. Now for the rear, we're going with the Bandit rear arms, as we are going to be going with the Bandit front arms as well, which brings in the width there. Now we won't be switching over to the CVDs, which MIP does make, about $70. You can switch on there. We'll be sticking with the standard ones. You have the tie rods here in the rear, which are the Bandits. We'll be switching there. Now, to change things up a little bit, we will be going with 14 millimeter hexes for the back here. Now, sometimes you have to stick with 12. We will be sticking with 14 only because we're going to be, for demonstration sakes, we're going to be going with the traxxas tires here. Okay, we're going to be going with the ones that they were using on the funny car. So we're going to be using these for the rear, and we'll be using these for the front. So we'll be going regular bearings on the front end there instead of a hex. We'll be keeping the VXL system in there. There's the motor. We will be going with the lockout on the spool on the inside there, which is only $12. It takes away from the low slippage. And eventually I'll be changing out the removing the slipper pads. So again, everything just grabs immediately and goes. This is for making an actual drag racing car, not your everyday mess around car, because this is not a setup for that, because we'll be going with the gearing, like about a 76 tooth on the spur, and we'll be going like 31-ish on the pinion. So low as possible on the spur, high as possible on the pinion, and that's just for drag racing. That's just for, 130-ish, feet, that type of setup. Now, we'll be sticking with the traxxas remote. We'll be moving this over. We'll have the VXL moved over there as well. This was our demo vehicle before, so it's a little dusty, but everything obviously still works. But we'll be moving that all over onto here. Now, some people they make a tray that goes up in here that allows everything to sit in the center. So obviously all your weight is centered there. So that's good. If you feel that you need to add some weight to the front, that is where you can start adding a little bit of aluminum to the front, where maybe your bulkhead or your bell crank, something like that, you can add a little bit of weight to the front to drop it down. Now, we removed the bumper from the slash, but we will be replacing that with your standard little rustler bumper that stays underneath here. Now, some people go with the longer one that I've seen made, handmade by people, or even the RPM one that kind of comes up at an angle. That's if, you got a bigger body it pushes out and you don't want it to flex or anything like that, you can do that. So it just kind of depends on the body that you're using and how much movement that you want. So you can put the RPM bigger bumper on there that kind of pushes it out. It's a little bit wider on the front end. Comes out about like that, again, depending on how wide and how high you want to use your body. Now, again, you can use these body posts, the 3619s, or you can go with the Pro lines, which are the extended body posts. Okay, those are the ones with the cap screw-ons. You can go with those as well. So that'll allow you to raise the body up as high as you want, and set it up like that. Now, Proline does make a nice long wheelie bar. I've also gotten some aluminum ones in as well. But for the sake of going with Traxxas stuff, this is the Traxxas wheelie bar. It's adjustable. It's a nice setup. And we went with the aluminum ball bearing wheels there. Those are about 20 bucks. This is about $15. Now, so far, everything's going to be running right around $150. That's not including the body, not including the tires, or any different electronics. So that's just if you have a Slash two-wheel drive VXL or brushed, because you might be running in a brush class, but just to switch it over. So that entails all the little pieces, parts that you need to switch the vehicle over, the arms, all the other things. So, and then you can always make adjustments as you go along. I will be posting videos as we change things up and as we add pieces, parts to the vehicle, to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like with the, with the final build. But we're kind of sticking with the Traxxas stuff to kind of keep the price down, making it easier for people. You could really go crazy in all sorts of different directions. You can go with the reaction tires by Proline. You can go with the Big Daddies. The reactions are nice because they're belted. You can go with those. You can, choose from 10 different bodies, 12 different bodies that Proline and J Concepts make. You can make your, vehicle into any different thing. You can go with the long wheelie bar. You can go with the aluminum one. Again, it depends on how much weight and the classes that people are, set up for. You don't want to be, breaking any rules or anything like that. So just keep following us, like it, pass it on, just keep following us, check out what we're doing. This is just your standard build, but, you can always go with RPM pieces, parts, RPM, front arms, bulkhead, shock towers, rear arms, and things like that. But again, for Traxxas build sake, we're just sticking with the Traxxas stuff. So anyways, Hobby Shop of Elyria, 440-366-0665. All the stuff is carried in the store, 823 Chestnut Commons Drive in Elyria. Thank you much. Be safe, and talk to you soon.